Hey everyone, Wind here and welcome back to the channel. Now I've always been fascinated by history's dark corners, those unsettling tales that send chills down your spine. And today, we're diving headfirst into the heart of the Catholic Church. The papacy, a symbol of piety and guidance for billions. But what about its shadowy underbelly? The papacy has a dark side you rarely hear about, a history riddled with scandal, violence and corruption that would make your blood run cold. So buckle up, because today we're exhuming the skeletons in the Vatican's closet. Let's uncover the most infamous popes in history. Our first unholy roller coaster takes us back to the 9th century, to the reign of Pope Stephen VI, a man who clearly took his grudges to the grave, or rather, brought them back from it. You see, Stephen had some serious beef with his predecessor, Pope Formosus. And how did he choose to settle this score? By putting Formosus's rotting corpse on trial, of course. This macabre spectacle, known as the Cadaver Synod, is the stuff of nightmares. They dressed up the decaying corpse in papal garb, propped it on a throne, and Stephen himself presided over the trial, screaming accusations at the lifeless shell. The verdict? Guilty, obviously. They stripped Formosus of his papacy, chopped off his blessing fingers, and chucked his body in the Tiber River. Talk about adding insult to fatal injury. This, my friends, is just our first dip into the dark side of the papacy, and trust me, it gets wilder. Fast forward a few centuries and we land smack dab in the midst of the Renaissance, a time of great artistic flourishing and rampant papal debauchery. Enter stage left, Pope Alexander VI, the patriarch of the infamous Borgia family, a name synonymous with ruthless ambition, scandalous affairs and enough poison to make a Medici blush. Alexander VI treated the papacy like his own personal piggy bank, using church funds to fuel his family's extravagant lifestyle and insatiable hunger for power. He wasn't shy about flaunting his mistresses, fathering numerous illegitimate children, Lucrezia Borgia, anyone, and allegedly even throwing lavish orgies within the Vatican walls. The man was like a real-life soap opera villain, but with way more power and a much fancier hat. Next up, we have a pope who probably shouldn't have even been allowed to order a communion wafer, let alone lead the Catholic Church. Benedict IX, a man described by historians as a demon from hell in the disguise of a priest, makes our previous entries look almost tame. Elected pope at the tender age of, get this, 12 or 13, Benedict treated the papacy like a playground for his depraved desires. We're talking rampant simony, orgies, even rumored cases of murder. He was basically the Lindsay Lohan of the 11th century, but with less rehab and more religious persecution. The craziest part? This guy was pope 3 separate times. He sold the papacy, got bored, took it back by force, got bored again, and then finally said, "All right, fine, I'm out." Benedict IX, everyone. Proof that sometimes even the Vatican needs a good exorcism. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to meet a pope who makes even the Borgias look like choir boys. John XII, the so-called warrior pope, was a man of insatiable appetites, and I'm not just talking about his love of communion wine. This guy ascended to the papacy at the ripe old age of 18, and he wasted no time turning the Holy See into his personal playground of violence, debauchery, and political maneuvering. Imagine a frat party hosted by Caligula, but with more chanting and incense. John XII was accused of everything from murder and adultery to simony and perjury. He even transformed the Lateran Palace into a brothel, because you know, nothing says holy like a good old-fashioned Roman orgy. This papal nightmare finally ended when, according to legend, he died in the arms of his mistress, after being beaten to death by her enraged husband. Talk about karma. Our final descent into papal darkness takes us to the 14th century, a time when the Catholic Church was as divided as a broken communion wafer. Enter Pope Urban VI, a man whose reign sparked a schism so deep it makes a Kardashian family feud look like a picnic in the park. Urban VI was, to put it mildly, not a people person. He was known for his volatile temper, his paranoia, and his penchant for brutal punishments. He once threatened to execute several cardinals during a meeting, which, as you can imagine, didn't exactly win him any popularity contests. This led to a whole mess of drama, with rival factions electing their own popes, excommunicating each other left and right, and generally throwing a wrench into the whole one true church thing. The Western Schism, as it's known, lasted for almost 40 years, and seriously damaged the credibility of the papacy. From corpse trials and papal orgies to power-hungry dynasties and church-splitting schisms, these infamous popes prove that history isn't always holy. These stories, as shocking and disturbing as they might be, remind us that even the most powerful institutions are run by flawed human beings. So the next time you see that papal hat, remember the figures who wore it, both the saints and the sinners, and maybe, just maybe, say a little prayer for the souls of those who crossed them. Which pope shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments. And as always, stay curious, stay skeptical, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more explorations into the dark side of history.